Hey plant people, my name is Annalisa and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the 5 best low-light houseplants. And this is just what I think the 5 best low-light houseplants are. You could think something totally different, but this is just from my experience what I know to be low light. So let's get started. So the first plant I want to talk about is Pothos. And there's a lot of different types of Pothos, and I'm not going to get into all of them in this video, but I'll just show you a couple right now that I think are great for low light. So the first Pothos I want to talk about is the golden Pothos. I think this one's really pretty because it gets these like yellow variegation in the leaves that I think is really pretty. And it's a vining plant. I love that Pothos I love that Pothos vine. Those are my favorite type of plants, are the ones that vine. And so another type I want to talk about is the neon Pothos, which is right next to me. And you can tell this is definitely different from the golden Pothos, or just a normal green Pothos even, because it's a lot lighter in the leaves. And the other Pothos I have here is heavy. So this is the Marble Queen Pothos, and I love this one because just look at those leaves and like how white the variegation gets. I think it is so pretty. Obviously, if you give this one less sun, the leaves will get a little bit more green, like this leaf. But I've been keeping this kind of close to a window, not a bright window, not a south-facing window, but it's been getting a little bit whiter. It's just based on what you like. And then the other Pothos I'm going to show you, some people say it's not a Pothos. I kind of group it in with Pothos. But it's called a Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. I think this one is so pretty. I know I said that's one of my favorites, the Marble Queen, but this is actually my favorite because I'm gonna let you guys look. It is so pretty. It has like silver in the leaves, and it's like velvety. For the light for these, they can survive in really any type of light. It can be low, it can be medium, it can be high. They will thrive in all of them. Obviously, the more light you give it, the quicker it's going to grow and probably the fuller it's going to get, but it'll still keep growing for you in low light, which is one of the reasons I love it, because you could just throw it in a bathroom, which I actually, this one, my golden Pothos, I keep in my bathroom, and it's very happy, as you can tell. For watering, they're super easy. You just, I know some people don't like this, but you can just stick your finger in probably like 2 inches down, so right to here, and if it comes out clean, like that came out clean, it needs to be watered. Like, this definitely needs to be watered. And you can also tell because the leaves kind of wilt a little bit. Like this new leaf is actually wilting back a little bit. And these other leaves, like that's wilting, and this one's kind of curling. So you know I need to water this one. That's kind of it for Pothos. It can survive in really any type of lighting. The more light you give it, obviously the quicker and more full it's going to grow. And watering, you just want to let it dry out completely between waterings, and then you can stick your finger in, and it's just like up to here on your finger, like 2 inches basically. If it feels dry, you should definitely give it a little drink. So I think that sums it up for Pothos. And I guess we can move on to number 2, which is, drumroll please. Thank you, Annalisa. A Philodendron. So I think philodendrons are another great low light plant, and I'll show you guys 2 I have right here. This is a heartleaf philodendron, as you can tell because the leaves are heart-shaped. And this one is just so pretty and just really pretty green. And actually, oh gosh, it's actually stuck in here somewhere. Oh boy. Ah, there we go. So I think this one is just so pretty, and I love how the leaves come in kind of this darker color, these newer leaves, which I love. And then the other philodendron I have is right here, and this is my Brazil philodendron. And I really like this one as well because you can see that it has that stripe of like neon, like yellow green going down the middle. And it obviously, as you can tell, vines like crazy. Like look at that vine. Oh gosh, look at that vine. What is it doing? I've taken cuttings from this one for propagating. Another video. And I think it's just so cool. So for the philodendron, it survives in any type of light conditions, in low, medium, high light, but obviously it thrives like the pothos. If you give it more light, it'll grow quicker and get more leaves. And watering is the same as the pothos, really. They're very similar in my opinion, whereas you want to let it dry out completely between waterings, and you can stick your finger in again for 2 inches down and see if it's dry, and if it's dry, you want to water. And actually, I think on here you can see I need to water it a little. Its leaves will kind of curl like this, and that's how you know it needs to be watered. And they'll also feel like almost thin, like they're thirsty, you know? So that's how you know. And that's the philodendron. Oh. Well, that's why it looks thirsty. Okay. Well, looks like I'm gonna be propagating. Okay, let's put you to the side. That's not a great representation of when you should water, but you can still tell on the plant that it needs to be watered. Its leaves will curl. Okay. All right, let's move on to number 3, which is spider plants. So this is my spider plant. And once again, they come in all different types, but this is just a regular variegated spider plant. And I actually took this one as a cutting from one of my old jobs because they had just so many little babies on it. And I just plopped them into water and they grew roots. I'll get into that in another video on propagating, but that's how I got this one. And now it's got all of these babies that I can make new plants out of if I wanted to, but I just kind of leave it on there because I think they're really cool. And they'll produce flowers, which if I have a picture of the flowers, I'll insert a photo. But I just really like these. And once again, they're a little similar in light to Pothos and Philodendron, where they can survive in any type of light, low, medium, high light, but the more light you give it, obviously, the quicker it'll grow, like I've said. But it will survive in any really light for you. And watering this is similar as well, where you want to let it dry out completely between waterings, and you can, once again, just stick your finger in there to see if it needs to be watered, because if you feel it and it's like soaking wet and you see dirt on your fingers, you don't water it. You're going to give it root rot, which you don't want to do. And yeah, so you want to let this guy dry out, and it'll be happy. And also, something I've noticed with this is that when it's thirsty, you'll also see the green in its leaves almost get duller, which I think is kind of interesting, at least for me, because then I know, oh, you need water. Okay, I'll get that for you. So, yeah, that's the spider plant. And now we are on to number 4, which is the snake plant. So, I have a few different types of snake plants. I'm still trying to figure out what one of the types is, But I'll start with this one. This is my bird's nest snake plant, and I think it's really pretty because it has like the yellow. I've had it in this pot for probably too long, but I know that snake plants like to be a little more root bound. But I think it's cool how they produce these little babies that you can just take off and make another plant out of. And then this, oh my god, this bad boy, whew, is heavy. This is called a mother-in-law's tongue, which I think is really funny. And it has this one really long one for some reason, I don't know why. And then another type I have, okay, maybe someone can actually help me figure this out. I think this is a mother-in-law's tongue as well, because it has like the stripes on the back like that one does, but it's coming in like a moonshine snake plant, like really light on the top, and like it's not really having many stripes, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe the stripes come in after it gets a bit older. I don't know. Someone can tell me probably. They are amazing because you can put them anywhere in your house, even in like rooms that just have a tiny window and get just like the littlest amount of light, like bathrooms are ideal. And they will just keep growing and pushing out new leaves, and they're just so happy, like just putting them wherever, like no light, a little bit of light, they're fine. You water them like once a month. I water mine maybe every 3 weeks to a month because I have it in a little bit more light, but they thrive on neglect, really. Just let them tell you when they want water because their leaves will start to shrivel up almost like a prune, and you'll see it because right now it definitely doesn't need any water, you can tell. That's the snake plant. And so the fifth and final one that I think is the best for low light, which actually some may argue is the best for low light, is the ZZ plant. This one is really pretty because it just comes out in these like stalks almost and just shoots out these leaves that are kind of hard, but they're like shimmery and like glossy. And this is similar to the snake plant in its care because for lighting it can survive again in any type of light situation. If it's in a bathroom, even if it's in like an office with just fluorescent lighting, it'll survive, and like it won't be amazing. It won't like be like pushing out leaves every day. But it'll survive, and it'll still be happy. Obviously, like the more light you give it, like any of these plants, the more it's going to produce, but they don't want a lot of light. They prefer to be shaded. Now, watering for ZZ plants is similar to snake plants where you only need to water it like once a month or once every 3 weeks, more like once a month, because it has these cool things down here. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a potato. And it's called a rhizome. I think that's how you say it, a rhizome. And that's where it collects all of its water and stores it so that you really do not need to water this. And that's why this one, like the snake plant, really thrives on neglect. So I think that sums it up for the 5 best low-light houseplants. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!